Cities in China's southern provinces are bracing for Ragasa, the strongest typhoon to hit the country this year. Authorities in the city of Shenzhen say that they plan to evacuate 400,000 people, and the Hong Kong-based airline Cathay Pacific says it expects to cancel more than 500 flights as the typhoon approaches the Chinese financial hub. More than 10,000 evacuees are sheltering in the Philippines as heavy rains and gale force winds have already struck there. The country's Weather Bureau warned life-threatening conditions are imminent, with sustained gusts hitting 215 kilometres per hour. Schools and government offices have been closed in the Manila region and dozens of other provinces in anticipation of heavy rainfall. And we're keeping an eye on the live shot from Taiwan, where the State Weather Service predicts a chance of extremely torrential rain in the country's east, although the typhoon isn't directly expected to hit Taiwan. So let's get a full update with the very latest. Here's Benison J. Esteraja, who is a weather specialist at Ragasa, the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration. Sir, thank you so much for just talking us through where are we now with this super typhoon? Where are the points of danger?
Yes, good evening, Kasha. As of now, we have a super typhoon Nando with international name of Ragasa at around the coastal waters of the northernmost islands of the Philippines. It has passed over there. It's currently over Luzon Strait and may exit the Philippine area of responsibility within the next 12 hours, heading towards southern China on Wednesday.
And we expect a lot of rainfall also in Taiwan, but we don't expect it to directly hit Taiwan.
Yes, based on our latest forecast track, it will move across Luzon Strait. That's in between the northernmost islands of the Philippines and Taiwan. So we're expecting much of the rainfall is actually in those areas in northern Luzon. It's directly due to the super typhoon. And other parts of our country, the central portions of the Philippines, will also be affected by the southwest monsoon. We're having some rains here in Metro Manila. We're not directly affected by Ragasa, but we're expecting some moderate to heavy rains tonight.
Now, the Philippines, they suffer typhoons. You suffer typhoons on a routine basis. How does this particular one, how does Ragasa compare?
Super Typhoon Ragasa so far is our strongest tropical cyclone as of this year and one of the strongest in recent years. And so far, we've had different types of typhoons. Actually, the first 6 months, we've had like tropical depressions, the weaker ones. But this one and in the coming months, we're expecting more tropical cyclones that are stronger, and they have higher chance of making landfall towards the central and southernmost portions of the Philippines.
And is that because we're seeing more extreme weather events given due to climate change? Is that why you're expecting more of these very, very strong typhoons?
Definitely, there have been studies saying that there might be some stronger tropical cyclones in the next few years or few decades, and lots of them could reach around typhoon or super typhoon categories with like minimum wind speeds of like 120 kilometers per hour. Super typhoons could reach 180 to up to 200 kilometers per hour. We have been preparing for that scenarios regarding typhoons. So we have measures regarding heavy rainfall warnings, as well as storm surge warnings and wind warnings.
And just very briefly, if you would, obviously the Philippines, lots of different islands, but people, you feel that they do have the information that they need in order to brace themselves for this?
Yes, as much as possible, we have frequented our warnings. We have bulletins every 3 hours, as well as heavy rainfall warnings every 3 hours. We have different categories of rainfall warnings with different impacts per category. And as well as storm surge warning, we have learned from the past typhoons such as Haiyan in 2013. That's why we have also impact-based forecasts. We're focused more on what the weather or what the typhoons will do to your community instead of just giving details as to how large or what the typhoon is all about.
Okay, Benison J. Estareja, thank you so much for joining us from the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration.